This is a tutorial for how to create a touch table board game using the Unity game engine. In this tutorial, I'm going to convert the game called No Thanks. I'm going to start with some art and audio assets from other projects and a basic set of reuse code. All of the code and art assets are available for download in the accompanying blog post. The post has a lot more detail about what is happening and a detailed description of the reuse code that I am starting from. Let's get started. Open Unity and create a new 2D project called No Thanks. I'm using Unity 5.6 for this tutorial. The first thing that we are going to do is add a couple plugins to the project. I'm adding the free version of DoTween to this project from the Unity Asset Store. After you import DoTween, you may be prompted to set up the plugin. Just follow the on-screen instructions if that happens. I use DoTween for creating animations. DoTween allows you to programmatically move, resize, and rotate objects, change colors, fade in and out, and many other transformations over any given interval. Next, I'm going to import the Text Mesh Pro asset. This asset provides a much more powerful and slightly better looking text field for the Unity UI. Next, I'm going to copy the newtonsoft.json and the Windows Voice plugins, art and audio assets, and my reuse code into the project. These archives are available at the website linked below. Copy these into the top level of the asset directory. Go back into Unity. Unity will parse all the added assets and add them to your project. Most of the assets are fine as imported, but I have several image files which are sprite sheets and contain multiple images. Unity has to be told that an image file has multiple sprites and how to subdivide those images. Click on the Borders image and set the sprite mode to multiple. Apply the change and bring up the sprite editor window. Slice the image by setting the slice type to grid by cell count and then entering the number of rows and columns in the image. Set up the sub-images as 9 boxes by clicking on each image in the sprite sheet and setting the borders to 16 pixels. Once you are done, apply the changes and repeat the process for the rest of the images that are sprite sheets. Setting the borders on an image allows the Unity UI to use an image type of sliced. In this mode, the corners are drawn as is, the sides are stretched along their edges, and the middle is stretched to fill the center. This allows the borders to be the same fixed size, even though the image size doesn't match. The button image should also be set up as a 9 box with 16 pixel borders. At this point, the project window should list the individual images under each of the imported sprite sheets. Next, I'm going to set the name of the project and add the icon. These are in the player settings under the Edit menu. I'll also set the resolution dialog to hidden by default. The game will default to full screen, but you can press Alt immediately after running the program to change the resolution. Add the icon. I'll also turn off the Unity splash screen. Next, I'll change the version control settings to force all Unity files to be visible and have text serialization. This is the best setting for most version control software. When adding a project to version control, you can always skip the top-level library directory. Finally, save the scene. In the next video, I'll set up the cameras that will render the scene and the canvases that the game elements will be placed on.